Okay, we're
Yeah,
live.
we're
Is the light
live.
better? Let me try to see. I have two windows, plenty of. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
they,
No.
wait.
That
No,
was too
turn
much.
back, turn back. Wait,
That was way too much.
Now,
That was way too much. Oh my God,
got a
that's
lot of
blinding.
like this. I know. Guys, I
Got a
have
lot
two
of light.
big windows. Good morning.
Yeah.
We're
Good
having
morning,
a
good morning, good morning, everyone.
It's
What
fine.
is up?
Exposure issues, like, and I have a screen down. You want to see without the screen? I'd be like,
Wow, can you imagine?
yeah. It's
Well, I mean, good thing about it today is it's one of those weird days. It's cloudy and sunny, you know? So it's like,
Look at this. Ah.
oh my God, we're blinded, we're blinded. Jesus Lord.
Try to catch my blind again.
Well, while Gigi's trying to catch up blind, I just want to say hola to everybody. Hello, buenos dias, and ciao to everyone. I hope everyone's having a fabulous, fabulous week. We've had a great week so far. Winter is still here. Jackets are still on. Coats are still on. Sweaters are still on. My Lord, I had to wear like 4 layers one day. I was so annoyed, but still, with all the showings that I did, I still got an offer in. So that's all I'm
that's
happy
cool.
about right now. So how are you guys doing so far?
Good. You see,
Life
now
is
now
good,
we're having a cloud, so now I
Life.
look dark. Very good. Very busy. Very nice. Busy, productive, and sometimes busy, non-productive, but it's fine.
What's up, Rim?
Oh my God, Ram!
Man, this guy pops up ever so often to show
I
some
know,
love.
this
So
is
what's up,
very
Rim?
cool.
I hope you're doing well, brother.
Yeah.
It's nice, yes.
Hi,
I hope the
all.
baby's good.
Huh.
Let me
Damn.
see something.
Yes.
Alicio, what's up, man?
Alicia jumped in. Hello, hello, Alicia.
Ram said all is good.
Thank you, guys.
good,
Thank you,
man.
thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
So today we're like, let's talk about a little bit. No, we haven't put our 2 cents in this housing market and where we think things are going. And sometimes we do like to, give our take on it, back it up by some slides, and let's see where this is taking us, because it's not all doom and gloom as everybody is saying, right?
Doom and gloom.
Doom and
So
gloom.
everybody's kind of thinking about how the market is shifting. Where's the market going? Are we going up? Are we going down? Are we gonna explode? Are we gonna implode? So it's a lot of craziness taking place
Guys,
right
yeah.
now.
Absolutely.
I think,
It's
You know what?
It's like-
It's still January. Let's put that in consideration. It's still January.
January
Historically,
20th.
I know,
It's okay.
but nothing
11
has
more
started.
days.
Still kind
January
of.
20th.
what?
It's
What are you
kinda
kidding me?
winter.
I'm in February already. That's my thought process. I'm already out there next day. It's like I'm already moved on.
I'm gonna
mean,
be
look.
political. I'm gonna be very political. I wish our media outlets were not scaring the crap out of the consumer. This is.
Well, you know what? What I like about it, and I will say this: what I like about it is that a lot more newer buyers and sellers are always asking the same question, and that's one of my favorite questions: how's the market?
Yeah.
You know, it's like I keep hearing this. I don't want to buy because of that. I want to sell. I want to wait till the market gets better before I sell. I mean, it is a perfect opportunity for them to start asking me as far as what I think about the market, and then when I bless them with what I think, obviously it becomes better communication from there.
So, guys, please don't hesitate to
I think-
actually put in your 2
I think
cents
with
in the comments.
I think with
Everybody.
what's going on in the media, all right, is because they're fearing. I've always heard it the other way around, right? I heard it in stock markets, cryptocurrency markets, right? When the media is blasting to not do something, you should do the complete opposite. So if they're telling you not to buy, you should buy. It is the best time to buy. When they're promoting it and saying, yeah, keep buying, keep buying, keep buying, that's where you should kind of take a second and think and evaluate, should I keep buying or should I just kind of wait a little bit?
Yeah.
You know? But nowadays, go against the media. Except for us, though. Except for us. 'Cause we're low
But
key.
we're not the media.
low-key.
We're
We're
like,
not- We're not exactly. We're not
What?
the media. We're a part of media. We're creating our own media, and we want to give you guys the truth and what's taking place in the real estate 411.
Yes,
I think we're
absolutely.
part of the public voices. I think we represent or just represent everybody. You know, we don't have any ties in with those with anything. No political. We don't want to even mention political ties or anything or any type of monetary advantage to anything. So it's just like what we're bringing you is what we think. Isn't that right?
Unless we
Oh
were
my
running for
God.
president, then it'd be a different story.
President of the neighborhood. So, guys, welcome to Real Estate Unwrapped. I'm so glad we're putting slowly and surely, we're sort of making our Facebook group so much better. You know, it
Yes.
takes time because we're busy and we don't have any dedicated admin to that because it's only the three of us.
It's
But
okay.
we're getting there. We're getting there. All right. So let's see what we got.
Predicting the 2023.
Predicting. Are we really going to predict the housing market?
Yes,
So,
I have faith in us.
so guys, no more bidding wars. That's what this slide means. The home selling frenzy is officially over. All right. And this is according to the National Association of Realtors as of at the end of November last year. All right.
Yes.
So you're having, obviously, we all know market slowdown. So you're having less and less pending home sales, which means you're having also less properties on the market, but less offers coming in. So if you guys are buyers, maybe you'd have a better chance of getting that offer accepted.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think in our area alone, there was one particular area that honestly there were 20, 30 offers. And now they're just at this point right now just getting about 5 or 6 offers. I mean, back then, remember, it's like 20, 30 offers, and now it's about 5 or 6. What a difference.
Yeah.
Back to normalcy, Philippe.
Yeah, yeah. And we know we had a drastic, let's not rehash the thing, but we had a drastic increase in mortgage rates. We'll discuss mortgage rate. It's not the end of the world. I've been in real estate for like almost 3 decades now. So it's like, it's not bad to me, right? What do you guys think?
Well, I wasn't around for 3 decades, but I'm definitely around for. I remember the 2008 recession that took place.
When you were like what?
That was scary.
19, 20, correction.
Okay.
All right.
Right. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. But I was not in the real estate industry, but I did see how it affected the economy aggressively. And today, I mean, I don't know, Gigi, you guys have been around longer. What is the difference between the last couple of recessions that took place that affected the market and today's real estate market? What do you guys see as a difference?
So the recession in the 90s, I did not really feel it, mainly because I was breeding at the time. I got pregnant in the early 90s.
You said?
Yes.
Breeding.
I had 2 kids in 2 years in the early 90s. So it didn't really affect me. We were in the stages of looking at homes, but it was not like a super big priority. Before that, in the 80s, I was in Europe and really sheltered and not really affected by any economic trends. My parents were comfortable, so I don't want to sound like this super privileged person, but we were not affected by any economic downturn or anything. So I can only talk when I chose to make my life harder and coming to America. And now I can feel it. Huh?
Yeah.
So why would you do such a thing?
Right.
Because it's fun. Because you know what?
Being in America?
Yes. You know what? Yes. Okay. Like for somebody like me who has absolutely no merit of being an immigrant and stuff like that, you can only you in America, you determine your destiny. what you do determine a lot of things. In Europe, there is still a lot of roadblocks. It's who knows who and stuff like that. There is a lot of nepotism there, and it's not like unlike here. If you have enough grit, if you have enough will, if you have not even if you hustle a little bit, you really can make it and have your own merit in achieving things. And that's the fun part for me, which is pretty much impossible in Europe. Politically, roadblocks, all that, like the whole mentality is a whole different thing. And I'm talking about Western Europe. I don't know about Eastern Europe, but Western Europe, definitely. All Italy, France, Germany, even Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been doing real estate for 10 years, right?
Yeah, I've been doing it for about a decade. Yeah. So as far as 2008, I mean, I was working in retail at that time. Every job market felt it at that time. Everybody was feeling it, getting laid off, furloughs, and all that stuff. At that time, right now, I wasn't even thinking about real estate, but when I got into it years later, you could definitely still feel some of the residual effects of it. And when I say difference now compared to then, is that there's a lot of more rules and regulations to at least prevent it. Compared to last time, right?
I have a question for you since you are in that market. Do you see a correlation, economical thing, like when the housing market goes down, do you see it similar in retail? Do you see like less buying power, or is it completely, I'm going to sound stupid, is it completely like different?
It's different. Okay. It's different because honestly, it's, we're talking about big ticket items versus folks who are just buying shirts and pants, right? So it's not really,
I mean, I seen some of the prices on these shirts and pants nowadays, and I'll tell you, I'm not even buying.
I gotcha.
I am super window shopper in today's era, man. I am just looking, and I'm just like, wow, it looks pretty nice. My jeans still fit. They're not ripped. I'm not buying another pair.
There you go. No, but you know what? Just to sort of hit on that real quick. Even today, right now we're going through our little thing. A lot of these retails in today's market, especially with the Black Friday, which is one of the biggest holidays in all retail, right? This is where we call it Black Friday because of the numbers. We've always wanted in black, not in red. And due to the statistics right now, most of them, even the big ones, most of them actually are in red because they didn't actually hit the number that they wanted to hit. So it's effective no matter how we see it. So it's sad.
It'll affect everything across the board.
Yeah. What's up?
Anyway.
So what was the other thing that we want to talk about here? What else we got here?
Let's talk about the prices returning to Earth, which is obviously been, and it's not that bad. I mean, like I'm hearing sometimes buyers, you see that price like dropping. No, not dropping, which somewhat readjusting themselves. But if you can look at that chart, it's not that bad. I mean, you are at prices from basically 2021 when we just got out of the of the lockdown. And
I think and then I agree. I think that what's helping it is the interest rates obviously slowing everybody down. I think that's what's helping. I think that's the fact that a lot of folks are now and it's weird because during COVID, a lot of people didn't want to do the showings because of COVID and they slowed down, but then they were still selling a lot. Right now that we're allowed to get back in there, we're not selling so much. So I agree with the fact that prices are coming down. They're coming back to normalcy, as I like to say. They're no longer skyrocketing. I'm sure sellers out there are like, oh no, but what happened back then? This guy sold it for this price. I mean, prices are different.
Right.
Prices are completely different.
And I'm not seeing I don't think we're gonna have another deep price drop. It's sort of gonna re-normalize a little bit. We're still gonna have some appreciation, very 2-3% per year. I think as we discussed, everything is going to be normalized rates, and as well are going to come back to not the pandemic rates of 2.5%. That's not going to happen. That's not normal, but more regular rates. I believe so.
Right. Exactly.
right?
Damn.
I
Yeah.
know.
The good thing is that with now, I guess, these prices going back to normal.
Mhm.
Again, we said it before, it gives the buyers the opportunity that were just kind of waiting on the side, waiting for those 2% interest rates, right? It gives them the ability to jump back into the market and be like, hey, you know
Right,
what? I'm going to start my home buying process now. You know
right,
what I mean? Because they got a whiff of it, right?
right.
Everybody was in the market last year trying to buy something. The minute those interest rates
Scrambling.
started
Yeah,
to hit 6, 7, 8%, everybody
yeah.
said, forget this. I'm not buying
Mhm.
anymore. And now that we're back around that high fives, low sixes, it's almost like these individuals remembered at one point it was 8%.
Yeah.
5% is a pretty good deal right now.
No,
You
right?
know what
It's
I
a
mean?
normal
So,
deal. And this
Yeah.
is where you need to take a look at the good picture, the big picture. Let's take a look at the kind of equity you could get in 5 years.
mhm.
Like right now, if you get into in the market right now, all right, and you could actually get those are priced from the end of 2022. All right, let's say you got into purchasing a house in December last month. In 2027, at the end of 2027, 5 years later, it is expected that you would have gained another $96,000 in equity on your home. And that's based
And
on a $360,000 purchase.
but
So
this
in
is
our
also
area, yeah, go ahead.
geez, real quick. I'm gonna assume that this is also based off of you purchasing a home and really not even touching it, right?
Oh,
Like
Yeah.
like
Keep it
you
basic. Yeah.
adding,
right,
this
just
is you just
maintaining
buying
it,
the
not
home
even, yeah,
and sitting
maintaining the
on it.
home. Yeah. And
Yeah.
maintaining
Keeping
the
it basic.
home
Yeah.
and keeping the basic, no doing extensions, no doing
Right.
extensive renovations in an average, so you're still gonna have like great accumulation of equity in your home, and this is the point of purchasing home. This
So
is like the American dream. Yeah, go
let me
ahead,
ask
Zach.
you guys a question in the sense of either Gen X or the millennials. How long do they usually stay home? When they buy a home, when's the next time they're gonna buy a next one?
Well, I mean, I heard statistically nowadays, whether you're whatever generation, it's almost like you're staying in these homes for 7 years.
Yeah,
Well, the younger
until
generation, not the older ones.
Even the older ones, man. I've spoken to people that have recently sold and they bought and they're already talking about, hey, maybe in about 5 years or so, I'll probably sell this and get something else. You know,
you
it's
think
I think it's
ah,
I think it's across the board at this point.
Not really. But I mean, we can always get into that later. But the thing
yeah,
is that some of the older, just really quick, it's been known that some of the older, like the baby boomers, the Gen Z, whatever they are
it's Gen
before the
X,
millennials,
my
Gen
people.
X, right?
Yes, yeah.
Even those guys like to hold on to it between 10 and plus, and then obviously the millennials and younger are the 5 and 7s years.
Because the
Maybe
needs are changing on the
pre-pandemic.
millennials. Like if you
Maybe
have
pre-pandemic.
if you have a
Mm,
growing family, even
Bro, I had two
pre-pandemic, yeah,
I had two clients, and I'm just going based off of whatever I
what they're saying,
experienced. It
right?
could be different, but you know what
Right.
I mean. Two clients that they were in their home for 20, 30, almost 40 years. They were, but now that they've bought something else and gone through that process, I've already heard the conversations of, yeah, you know what? 5 years from now, I'll probably sell this and go somewhere else. You know, so it's almost like the minute you pop that bubble, it's like, oh, this isn't that bad. This is pretty easy. Oh, guess what? Real estate, I'm investing and my equity is growing on it. Yeah, why not? Why not flip it
but
five,
that's
five to
the
10 years
right
from now?
approach. That's the right approach
Yeah,
to use your
It's a
equity and
thought
just
process, yeah.
accumulate more wealth by acquiring more real estate.
100%.
And that's
I
where we come in, and we could actually educate the public, and we have to not only educate, but it's a great opportunity for us as real estate agents to do it ourselves,
Yep.
for sure.
and of
Hell
course,
yes.
yeah, definitely.
And I
You
think
But
that
trying to tell
any
these you trying to tell these folks about next week's training? You better
pretty
hold up,
much.
girl. You better hold up.
but just a quick tip on that though. I mean, honestly, for those that actually been doing real estate for almost 5 years or so, anyone who you've actually sold to 5 years ago, you should really start trying to reach out to them right away because they
Yeah,
actually have some really good equity right now.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
100%.
just see if you can help them out with a CMA. See if you can help them out with a new home. Because that's actually the best time. And this is the reason why I asked you guys about the 5 to 7 years thing. So
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's a good question, man, and it's true.
Very good.
5 to 7
So
years is kind of where we're at.
When we were preparing this live stream, we actually dwelled on this slide for a while because it looks like our needs as a population in general, our need for work, for the work situation has changed drastically compared to anywhere from pre-pandemic, during the pandemic, and now. And it's basically what people's preference base. If you're going to look at exclusively remote pre-pandemic, you had only 8% of the population that wanted to work remotely or that were working remotely. 39% of the population had in February 20, like last year, the 39% of the population actually would have a preference of working or were working remotely, while 32%, like right now, are really about working exclusively remotely. And what's interesting is this whole hybrid thing. If you're going to look in the middle, almost 60% of the working population would prefer having a hybrid situation where they can work remotely and still go on their job site for whatever reason. And it makes a lot of sense for me, I think you don't have to commute, do the 9 to 5 metro, metro, sleeping, go back to work. So it's a nice, it makes more sense as a modern society to be able to work in a hybrid situation, on-site and remotely. And then the full on-site, 60% of the population pre-pandemic wanted were into that type of situation, while last year only 19% of people were like, okay, I just prefer working full on-site. And the employee's preference right now is only 9%, which is amazing.
That's true, because everybody got a taste of working from home, and the idea of just working from home and saving. Look, man, we can literally be 10 miles away from our location, but it can potentially take us almost a half hour to 45 minutes to get there.
An hour.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I remember living
in big metropolitan areas, yes. Yeah, an hour.
I remember living in Briarwood, and it used to take me back then. I can only imagine what it takes me now, but living in Briarwood, take the train into the first stop of Manhattan, and it took me 45 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What the hell? Like, you know how much work I could do in 45 minutes? Like, that was the whole concept. People stayed home and realized how much time they spent in just traveling, that it's like I could get so much more done in those 45 minutes if I stayed home. I could get more sleep.
And then the flip side of the coin, imagine, and this is why the hybrid situation is really like something that people want. Imagine if you're a couple and your spouse also works remotely. I don't know about that, man. If you want to be both in the house together all day long, all night long. So yes, going to your work site once in a while is a good thing. Because I don't think listen, I know Ed, you work with your spouse, you guys are like together like all the time. I personally
we're like spaghetti and meatball.
I know.
We're like lamb and fish.
I don't think I could do it.
I don't know about lamb and fish.
We're like,
hey, what about you,
ketchup and French fries?
What about you, Israel? Is your spouse also working remotely?
So she does work here most of the time. She's part of the hybrid crowd as well.
Okay.
She does go to the office at least once or twice out of the week, which honestly, I think it's a good feeling on my end as well, only because it allows us to be separate, to miss each other in that sort of way, but at the same time, when I'm having meetings like this, I don't have to worry about her side of having a meeting, whether here in my end or her end. So it becomes that kind of level.
Yeah.
So it's sort of it feels normal in that sense if you think about it that way.
Right.
I kind of like it that way.
Okay. No, I don't know. I mean, like imagine if you have like really like high producing individual and both of them are working in the same space, and especially if you have a small space, like trying to find, like where did you put yourself to be able to have like something like a stream or a Zoom and stuff like that, and the person next to you needs to go to the other. It might not be totally comfortable with smaller space.
Might have to do it in a bathroom or something. Yeah.
No, listen, you know what that does? That creates pressure and that forces you as an individual to analyze where you're at in the real estate industry and to see if it's time to upgrade. And if it's time to upgrade, then you reach out to us and we help you upgrade.
What about you? What about you, Ed? Are you thinking of upgrading? Because I know you just upgraded. Was like a year pre-pandemic or something? Are you now thinking of upgrading for a bigger space?
Hell yes. What's funny? I thought about that even when I got my space.
Oh wow.
Because of the fact that it's just at the end of the day, like look, I'm in a 1-bedroom apartment, but I did it so that I could start my real estate portfolio. The idea is to now get a 2-bedroom apartment. You know what I mean? Because where I'm at now, they allow me to sublease. And rental over here for a 1-bedroom is basically $1,900. The minute rental prices are double of what I pay in mortgage and maintenance, like I'm good. Like I could literally start looking into getting another spot, putting money into it, renting this one out. It'll cover itself and some, and then I have a bigger space, and I just keep growing from that. You know. But it's true. Look, at the end of the day, working with the spouse, it's interesting. It's not always going to be easy, but I'm a firm believer that these moments that we all experience and share will help grow our relationship and make it stronger. That's what I believe. So
good vibes. Good vibes.
Uh-huh.
Good vibes. All right. So this was like a little bit of the silver lining, just showing you that the mortgage rate forecast for the next 90 days, which was right at the end of the year. So let's say January, February, like going into March, December, January, February, going into March, those rates, even though they spiked up at the end of the summer, I mean, from the summer until the fall, they sort of being, like renormalized down. So I think a rate that we're going to see probably for another next couple of years will be probably like a 5.5, 5.35, 5.5. I'd have to talk to more mortgage professionals, but I think this is where we'll be sitting for a while. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I would say anywhere between that 5%, 5 to 6% fluctuating.
I don't even know 6. I don't think we'll even go that high, but I think like definitely the mid 5s, because right now we're the higher 5s, 5.6, whatever it is on an average. It's not that bad. It's not terrible at all. Like to me, for many years, I thought anything under 5 was pretty much free money. So we're a little bit over that, but it's not completely crazy. And we're looking at a chart that is like a couple of years anyway on that, which show historically very, very low rates. Right. So this is where I think it's going. And it's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's just a normal market, and we just need to deal with it coming out of pre-pandemic. That's when things differ. Like, let's say if you bought a house and closed on a house in October at 7% versus something now more normal, I think the difference in price, and you probably can, I think you could almost refinance right now. If you have like a point difference from the time you bought your house this summer to now, there would be on an average, I think, a $400 difference if you're looking at it from 7.5% to 6% based on the $400,000 purchase. So why not? It's still there is still the possibility of, okay, let's see where those rates are going. Wait another couple of months, and they're at 5 and refinance to a normal rate. It's not bad at all. so nobody really loses, and you're in the home that you wanted to have. You had to fight
That's
a little bit
crazy.
for it, but I know it's crazy, but
No, no.
looking at the big
What I'm
picture,
saying
yeah.
is, it's crazy because the way you kind of set it up, which was, for example, if somebody bought their home at a 7.5% interest rate, for us to go down to normal, which is around 5. It's like I remember
Hmm.
when my parents bought their house, and my mom ended up refinancing years down the road, and she had an interest rate of like 5.25, and she was like, "Oh my
Yeah,
God, this is amazing,"
this is great. Yeah,
you know. And
yeah,
then here we are, like talking about that being normal. That's where
yeah,
I'm just like, that's crazy.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
So I
what I also
purchased a
find,
home. Yeah, go ahead,
I was
Gigi.
just going to say real quick, what I just find crazy in the sense that it's like what we just spoke about earlier, in the sense that it's how time goes. Obviously, our equity increases no matter what,
Hmm.
right? In a certain way, our equity increases. So if you bought something 2 years ago, or you bought something almost 3 years ago, in that sense, and you are at 6%, 5%, 7%, and now you're doing a refi. My God, you have a house that's increased on equity, and now you have an interest rate that's actually decreased. That's a lot
Hmm.
of money that's back in your pockets. And if it's
Of
back in
course.
your pockets and you're a customer, feel free to call me. I'll be more than welcome to help you find your next home.
But you can do a lot. I remember buying this two-family home with my ex-husband at 8.25%. And
wow.
on top of it, you totally rehabbing the home to make it what you want. And then, yeah, you're gonna refi few years down the line at 6.5, and you think it's fantastic. And when you sell, you sort of doubling the money that you purchased the home for. Okay, you put a lot of money in renovations too, but imagine like the equity portion of the house, how you increase the value drastically of that home just because of the renovations you did, and the improvements and adding features and benefits. So to me, it's a win-win situation all across the board on the long term. Anything, like on the 10-year term, like 7 to 10-year term, it's a win-win.
I agree.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Again, let's look at the big picture. That's all we gotta do. And what am I doing? Okay. Oh no, why am I going back, guys? Why am I going back? And oh yeah. So this is where we're also seeing that's a very interesting graph. So let's take a look at this is what Americans have been saving less and
For the
less
past
as
year.
inflation bites. So now this is from a program called Charts. It's very interesting, but let's look at those two spikes, okay? This is the spikes that we had during the pandemic, all right, during the lockdown. So of course people were saving because we're at home. Uh, I didn't even want to go to the supermarket. I would buy stuff like I would go in the morning early, like wait until the old people do their groceries and I go. And I did a lot of online grocery shopping as well. It's like drop your groceries by my door. I'll open up when you're done.
Wow.
Just like everybody else. No, just like everybody else, man. And
I
you
was
sort of
I was
live
standing
freely.
online. I
You
was
were?
standing online
Yeah.
waiting for Trader Joe's to let us in because we had to keep
Oh, that was
6 feet of distance
horrible. Yeah.
away. Of course, it
No.
was
Oh my
horrible. We
God, I
were
remember those
standing out.
lines.
There were there was a time in the middle of winter we were out there for like almost an hour. Like
I
I
know.
was telling myself, like, what the f- are we doing here? Like, what kind of world are we living in right
Yeah, well, I did Amazon Fresh, Instacart, I did twice Trader Joe's, which I love Trader Joe's, but not waiting an hour in online, freezing
Yeah.
stuff
now?
with people
Mm-mm.
bitching. Sorry for my French. No, that was insane. So yes, you do
That was
save.
insane.
You do save. Like
People were
on the
saving, but I
yeah.
think people were saving because they were preparing for the influx of inflation that was about to occur. And I feel like everybody that did save their money during this time period is now tapping into that money to cover costs and expenses because everything, like we were talking about the other day, utilities has gone through the roof,
Mm.
groceries has gone through the roof. I
Mhm.
left Trader Joe's the other day with one freaking bag.
One bag.
One freaking bag, and it was like $60,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
what
Yeah.
the freak? Like that one bag didn't even have like meats in it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it wasn't
Yeah.
even like it was like little produce stuff. And God forbid if I bought more than one carton of egg, that thing would have probably been $70. You know?
No, imagine I see families, I've seen families shopping. I'm by myself, so my weekly expenses could be, like I could spend $50, $60. What am I gonna do? And I on stuff like I'm still, thrifty. And I sort of became frugal again during pandemic because us as real estate agent, as you know, we could sell, but we drastically like had less income as we were in lockdown. So you had to become frugal. And it's like, okay, here we go. Some of us took advantage of the unemployment, some of us didn't.
Yeah. I think
Um,
that's what it was.
and that's what it was. But I'm seeing nowadays I probably spend more time cooking than I would go and eat out. So yes, my grocery bill is a lot lower. But imagine families, I have to spend like 300, $400, $500 a week in groceries, and you're getting half of the groceries that you would get. A trip at Costco is like, forget it. No, I know. I've seen people. It's like it's insane. And yes, our buying power is a lot lessened, and things are very, very expensive.
Crazy.
When
Crazy
it's gonna
expensive.
stop? I don't know. I don't know. Right? So
I
this
don't
is where
know.
things are going. And then we have the other issue. We need more newly built homes. There is a huge shortage of newly built homes. I mean, newly built homes in America. All
Oh
right.
yeah.
We can see on this chart, July 2022 last year was probably the worst. Builders were not able to build, number one, because there was this huge problem with supply.
Yep.
All right. Everything was delayed. And then nowadays, the cost of material, same as the groceries, the cost of building material has increased so much. I'm not into the new home building field, but I know it could be a problem. So you have this huge demand. Builders cannot meet the demand. It's costing them an arm and a leg to build. Therefore, and they cannot even increase their prices according to as much as they probably should for them to meet their profit margin, because it's not going to be
Well,
possible for even to
Well,
sell. So I see where things are going. Supply
yeah,
problem,
and it's
increasing
not only
prices.
the home builders as well. I mean, the new ones who were like new constructions, also
All those
the
new construction,
flippers.
yeah.
Even the flippers are running through the same problems as well.
There are no flipping
Yeah,
opportunities right now.
yeah,
well,
it
maybe
decreased
not in New York,
No,
but
dramatically.
there is a lot.
no,
There
but
Oh
is a
no,
yes,
lot.
there is in general, but I do recall that a lot of flippers were like I attended a kind of like a training network event, and there was somebody there that did flipping. She was talking about how like years ago in 1 year she could do like maybe 20 to 30 flips.
Exactly. Yep.
Lately, lately, she's lucky if she did even 5.
exactly.
You know what I
And that's what
mean?
I'm
Which
Like
saying.
that
So it's
brings
that's
me to
drastic.
those iBuyers. Zillow just closed down the iBuyer program.
Yeah, open
Remember,
door.
they were open door. This
I
is
invested
that's
done.
what
into that.
It
I invested into Open Door. That was the
Yeah,
worst
well,
decision I could have
oh
ever made.
god.
this is absolutely
Oh man.
not happening.
Yeah, I was. Can I tell you? I was down almost negative 80%.
Jesus Lord.
Why?
Why did you do it
Why
to
did
yourself?
you? Because we
That goes
all
to show.
thought that was the trend. It's like,
Come on,
okay,
that was the
iBuyers
thing.
and
It's like,
stuff. Yeah.
yeah, that was gonna be a big thing, but clearly, the cost of material went up. Production of new projects went down.
Yep.
The time frame that it took these builders to build these
To rehab,
properties
yeah.
went from 6 months to a year. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like all of that played a role, and who would have thought that was gonna happen? Like who would have thought in 1 month we would go from 6.5 to 8% interest rate? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was crazy in itself. Last year was just crazy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So here you go. Here you are with all those different. So, but now we still go, I see they're still struggling, and it's not the end of it. So we need to have better economical situation. We need to get we need to have less inflation. We need, like, I don't know, things need to
Well, I
raise up.
mean, yeah, it's either that or use cheaper materials, and they definitely don't want to do that. So,
Man,
I mean,
believe me,
homes
some of
in
them have
America,
used it.
homes in
I know.
America are built of wood. Come on. I mean, how much sweat do you want to use?
well,
You're
again,
right, Gigi.
it's
Huh? Well, am I
That's
politically
right.
correct to say?
No,
It's
it's
not.
true. It's true, man. That's a problem that I really have, is because a lot of our homes are frame wooden homes, and sometimes they'll have brick. You know what I mean? Like sometimes,
right.
you know. Um, but it's true. You go to other places, other countries, and
It's
they're built out
similar.
of concrete,
Yeah,
stone. Like, yo, it's crazy.
It's all depending on the area. Honestly,
I know.
you gotta
I
look at it
know.
that way. Because northeast will have mostly wood, and if you go down south, like Florida areas, there's a lot of concrete version of those.
They
Yeah.
do. Some of them
You
have a
know,
wood framing on the inside, but yeah,
yeah.
concrete on the outside. I mean, they still have, but it's just like who would have thought, right? Like we're here cheapening out them, and everything is getting more expensive. Things are getting cheaper, and I even saw something the other day where they were analyzing like 2x4s or 4x4s from like the 80s, and you can see how many rings that it would have. That right there would tell you how strong that wood is. Today,
Yeah.
you look at that same 2x4 or 4x4, and the amount of rings are like 10 times less than what they used to be.
Because
You
the
know?
growth is forced, so you're gonna
Yep.
get material that is more porous, that is
Hell
weaker,
yeah.
that doesn't resist
I
as
mean,
well.
it
Yeah,
takes. I
yeah,
mean, woods alone, just trees alone, the woods alone, usually take about 10 years to mature, anyways.
yeah, yeah.
So,
And just look at the cost of those eggs, right?
I know, I know,
Come on, Alicia. We
I know.
know, man. You don't gotta tell us that. I'm about to get in the egg selling business. I'm about to buy me some chickens
Yeah,
and
why
start
not?
making
Chickens
some
are good.
eggs.
it's all
Yeah.
right. We'll be
Yo,
I
bobbing
that's
for
know.
it.
eggs.
If you
You're gonna
can
see you're
actually,
gonna see
where
chickens
you
out here
are,
in Valley Stream.
no, I don't, and I think it's illegal. I think your zoning doesn't require, because my kids
What?
were. I know my oldest daughter and her husband were thinking of getting chicken and stuff like that, and they can't. So in those residential
Can't
area,
harbor a
yeah,
chicken.
can't
Oh,
harbor a
Yo.
chicken. So it is that.
They
So
not letting
now,
me get in this egg game, yo. Damn.
so this is our last slide, and so this is going to look at the total home sales, with combining existing home sales and the new construction, newly built home sales. So you seeing from that all the way to the right with that line which shows 2020, and everything is bigger gray lines, vertical lines shows periods of recessions. All right, so you're seeing 2020 not being the recession, it was the lockdown, and you're going to see that new home sales spiked up during the right after the lockdown, and gradually are going back down now because of inflation, because of mortgage rates and stuff like that. So basically, what this slide is saying, and guys, you can agree with me, is you have a lot less buying competition, right?
yes, yes.
Oh, you do. And it's good
And
because it
that
actually pushes out the window shoppers.
Mm-hmm.
exactly. So for the serious buyer that wants to get into the market right now, you're not going to have what we just discussed. There won't be any more bidding wars. Your mortgage rates are restabilizing if you need financing. You have less houses, but you have less competition as well. So maybe this is like, maybe right now, right off of this winter, end of January, let's get back into the market in February. If you qualify, you definitely have more buying power than last October right now at the end of January with those rates that are more normal. And you are going to be most likely able to put an offer and complete the sale with a contract and just go to closing, instead of the craziness we had not last summer but the summer before.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree. I mean, that's where it's really important for all agents to start calling their buyers.
Definitely. And I think like little stuff like that, where we give you like a little bit of an overview of what we think was important, is you can reuse those slides. You can, contact us, shoot us a comment, shoot us a text, shoot us an email, and we'll be able to provide you those slides so you can illustrate to your buyers and your sellers for that matter.
Right.
All right.
Right.
Because you're going to have now more qualified buyers out of the woodwork. And sellers, if you were thinking of getting the prices from the summer of 2021, maybe not, but you'll have pre-pandemic prices that were still excellent. If you remember those years of anywhere 2015 to 2000, like the end of 2019, those were like the golden years, right?
The golden years.
The golden years, and that's it. That's our little take on it. All right.
So where are we going with this market? Are we going up? Are we going down?
We're gonna go. I don't think we'll have a drastic depreciation in home prices. I don't think so. I think if things will restabilize normally, unless some crazy political thing happens. But
hey, this is America.
I know. But look, you're hearing some stuff. Do you remember a couple of months ago when they're saying we're gonna have a diesel crisis? Imagine if the diesel price we don't have enough diesel fuel and the price goes up to the roof, the whole economy will collapse, agriculture will collapse, therefore we'll all be starving. I mean, they scared the brains off with that thing. We have only 3 weeks supply worth of diesel supply. That was a total BS. I mean, look, we're still here. So let's
show we don't need diesel gas.
No, we do, but this is not the shortage they were predicting, and this is not, anyway. So, let's stay focused.
It ties into what we said earlier, right? The media is going to put out information that will scare the crap out of you.
Absolutely.
You have to make an educated decision to say whether or
but
not.
It's very hard to make. It's very hard to make an educated decision.
Listen, the first thing is shut off the TV and stop watching the damn news, all right? That's number one.
It's true.
Number two is if the world is actually going to blow up, I'm pretty sure that you would get a call from somebody important.
Yep.
Let you know
absolutely.
Shit's going down.
Yeah.
And lastly,
absolutely.
Look, man, at the end of the day, we know what's up. At this day and age, I think we should all be aware of the information that's being pumped through mainstream media and be aware of that. And we have the ability, we have the internet at our fingertips to do the proper research to see whether or not if this is right or if this is wrong. So, with that being said, don't get scared. The market is going to do what it needs to because like life, there's always ups and downs. So we literally are coming out of the down and going right back into the up. So put yourself in a position to capitalize off of that.
Yeah. So contact your buyer, contact your past clients, contact, all your potential sellers. Like, this spring could be a good time to get back on the market.
Call them all.
Call them all. Thank you, guys.
And call those past leads. Call those leads that you got a year ago because chances are they were lingering for the right time, and clearly the right time flew right by them. Yeah. And they experienced the high interest rate. So now that it's low would be the best time for you to touch base with these individuals and see where they stand. Chances are their rent already went up 3 different times, and now they realize that it's better to just buy.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good point you just said about rent. You called renters also, because they may qualify at this time.
Well, you know what?
Never know.
Rents are not about to go down. So, yeah.
They're not.
So, hell no.
Look at a 1-bedroom apartment in just in the borough. It's about $2,000 easy.
Minimum.
Yep.
Minimum.
So that just says, I mean, look, again, you could do 2,000. You buy yourself a co-op, buy yourself a lot of good things.
A 2-bedroom rental is basically close to 3. That's a mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Even if it was $2,500, that is 100% a 2-bedroom apartment mortgage with a good down payment.
Absolutely.
And it's yours. Yeah.
And you lock in that same payment for the next 30 years.
30 years. There you go. So here, guys. All right. So until next week. So next week, we're gonna have a guest speaker, and we're gonna talk about us real estate agents becoming investors. You know, being able to open up. Yes, I know this is one of your favorite topics.
Hell yeah,
It's
because
true.
I know.
It's true. Yeah.
Listen, it's like when we used to talk about in the office, right? Get yourself pre-qualified, get yourself pre-approved, because you need to know what your buyers are going to be experiencing through that process, right? Like, I'm not knocking anybody that rents and that's a realtor, whatever. That's your business. If that's what you're capable of doing, fantastic. But the whole concept at the end of the day is if we're getting into real estate, teaching these people that it's better to own instead of renting, then we also have to own. How can we speak about investing into real estate if we ourselves don't invest into real estate? So I'm glad you said it, Gigi, because next week's topic, we're going to be talking about how us, an individual, can go from 0 to 100 in investing. Whether you've never done it before, whether you're somebody that owns your own home and is curious to know how can I pull equity out of my own private home to then invest into another property, right? So we're going to touch on all this. It's going to be a nice training. It's going to be some good information. And I can't wait till next Friday already.
Right.
We just got it.
All right, guys. All right, let's put that grown folk music back on, and we're out. Bye.
Grown folks music, here it is.
Yes, here it is. Bye, guys. Thank
World
you so
premiere.
Much. Yeah.
Wait,
Bye,
hold
everyone.
on a second. We can't just leave like, yo, what's up with you guys, man? We're forgetting the MVP. Who is the MVP? Today's most valuable post.
Who was it?
We got to give it up. We got to give it up to Facebook user, a.k.a. Alicio. Alicio, and that has to be him. Me.
Yeah.
It has to be him.
It is. It's
I don't know why. I don't know why it comes up as a Facebook user.
I don't know. I know.
It had to be him. It had to be him.
Prepared for an acceptance speech.
It had to be him.
I humbly accept this nomination. Let's go.
This is funny.
I love it.
Yes. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
See you next week.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Have a good weekend. Enjoy. Peace out.